To the Saturday Sports. It's a pitchside show. Of course, I'm your host, CEO Charles Otieno, alongside the two gentlemen in the studio. We bring it raw and rugged. As usual, it's your Saturday fix. And in the studio today, I have two gentlemen, the men who really understand the game of football. It's the EPL, it's a Spice 94.4 Nairobi, and many other areas you must tune in. It's the biggest conversation right now. And let me introduce the two gentlemen in the studio. My co-host today, Cedric Musumba and Rogers Shitemi. Gentlemen, karibuni sana.
Thank you, CEO. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's good, eh?
Sure. It is a long time since I last visited the studio.
Karibu sana, Roji. So tell me, what's your prediction? Manchester versus Brentford. It's a match which is about to it's underway. It's 3 minutes on. What is your quick take?
It is a very unpredictable game. Bear in mind, Manchester won their last game, and the Bees lost to Fulham. But looking at the last 3 visits against Brentford, I think Manchester have lost. So here, I think it will be either draw or the Bees can sting the Devils.
Well, how can you sting a devil? You can't see the devil.
No, there's a chance because they've always been stinging the Devils whenever they visit their home turf.
I can tell you that Rogers Shitemi is an Arsenal sympathizer. The statement just reveals what kind of a character he is. There's no way you can be talking like that.
No. The devil right now look more powerless, and the bee look to be just the bees are just from getting energy from the flowers. So it looks more motivated coming to the battle with the devil.
The Gunners shall never say what they wanna say. Say do.
I don't know where to start from, but I think Rogers has it all, and it's quite an essence for Manu actually to pick up their success and pull up their success and try to give their fans the result that they have been associated it with. Looking at how they have been playing of recent since the league started, all the hopes that fans has actually banked in that particular team, given the transfer window, has been thrown out of the window. And I think it's now that high time for them to realize that they're not necessarily playing for themselves. Neither are they playing for money, but they're playing for fans. Fans is where actually this pain hits most. And given to the essence of whatever that is happening right now, the danger today's match between Manchester United and Brentford actually lies with how the defense will be commanded by the likes of Maguire and the Delete, that centre back. Because given they will be facing actually the 3 little strikers.
What do you mean 3 little strikers?
Dango Ouattara, who actually has moved on from Bournemouth to Brentford, is one of the EPL little strikers given to how he has actually been giving result in their last season. Also talk about the Damsgaard, the Denmark offensive midfielder. We have seen the kind of goal that he can put behind the net when given acres of space, and he knows how to move that ball around that particular. And also not forgetting about Shed, the German young midfielder also. Those are the 3 midfielders when actually they attack with a purpose. And the Manchester defense need actually to be on high alert on how to quell their offensive kind of essence when they come forward.
You've just centered on the players from Brentford. Notwithstanding that Man United has Cunha on the attack and Mbeumo, who was in Brentford. And listen, Sedo. Are you forgetting that this coach is unproven?
You see, what I'm necessarily saying is that every eyes...
Who is the Brentford coach?
Every eyes are on Man U, given to the power and the pedigree that are bringing this particular pitch. And remember, if Brentford happens to lose, there will be no talk, no musical will be drummed about Brentford losing a game. But Manchester United happen to lose a game. It becomes an umbrella. It becomes an avenue of all questions that are being asked within the soccer family. So as to say, if Manchester United need to reaffirm their permuted lost glory, they need to start by beating Brentford today.
What do you say we have made lost glory?
They are no longer among the top 6 teams that are being celebrated in EPL. Actually, last season they struggled a lot. They almost being relegated. I'm not talking about Manchester United, if not actually luck on their side. We wouldn't be saying Manchester United in EPL.
Gentlemen, you cannot say luck and we won our matches. What are you talking about?
You did dangle on, let's say, mysteriously. No one could actually put their money.
I can tell you that
Manchester United.
A Chelsea sympathizer talking. For sure, that's a Chelsea sympathizer talking. Now let me break it down a bit. For Manchester United first 11, it's the most interesting thing, and you guys, gentlemen, you can say about it, is that why buy Lemans and not play him? Why buy a goalkeeper and you stick to your Bayandir? How would you judge this captain, this coach, Amorim? Why buy us? You said you have a problem with the goalkeeping department. You bring in a goalkeeper, but you never play him. Today, Manchester United backline is Bayandir in goal, Delete, Maguire and Shaw in the central midfield, yes. Diogo Dalot and Dogu on the wing backs, Ugarte and Fernandes in the defensive midfield role, Mbuemo, Cunha and Sechesko. Roji, why would you buy a player and not play him?
I think it's always in the mind of the coaches. They try to go with the players that they've already trusted, somebody who has given him results. But, look...
Brentford has scored.
VR, I think it's still under review. Okay. Looking at how it was scored, let's just have a look at it.
What?
Just speaking about the goalkeeper, you see how can we concede it from the near post?
I'm telling you.
Near post.
And we have just talked about the defense. We are just from actually trying to analyze the defense and how curious we are when they are facing one of the little strikers. So as to say, before even we swallow our words, the results are here coming. Now, CEO,
yes,
kindly try to walk us through what necessarily is bedelving this Manchester United defense, given to the pedigree of the players that it has actually sourced all the way from.
The biggest problem is not even the defense. The biggest problem is the way the team is set up. Look at the way this team, the 3 at the back is a very big problem because Maguire is not as mobile. For you to play 3 at the back, you need 3 very agile defenders at the back. Maguire is very slow. Delete is extremely slow. Cannot run. And you look at Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw cannot also. He's traditionally a left back. So you're playing 3 players out of position.
But someone will tell you, and to the value of you trying actually to understand how this player played elsewhere away from Manchester United. At national team, Luke Shaw plays a back 3 and he plays very well. We saw him actually training in World Cup and he was one of the best back defenders, back 3 defenders.
Yes.
We have also seen Delete what he did with Bayern Munich until, was it semi-final?
Yeah, sure.
And he played very well with that particular position as a back 3 player. Not unless if there's something that is not really clicking up when they cross over to, he crossed over to Manchester United, is what I needed just necessarily to understand. Because back where they are coming from, that position has actually played for them.
And it's not only those people who are coming in. Look at the players who are leaving Manchester. Never somebody leaves Manchester is going to flourish somewhere else. Look at what Rashford is doing at Barcelona. That's just an example.
Barcelona that was only one game.
No. It's not one game, but he is pulling strings. That
Anthony
is a wash.
How wash? The people that you call outcasts at the Old
United,
Trafford.
we got the bomb squad.
Yeah, they're not shining wherever they go. So I think there's a big problem at Old Trafford.
It's a culture. Yeah. Maybe we'd say is the way the culture is. But even that goalkeeper conceding from the
near post.
And
it wasn't that way a heavy shot.
It was.
But yesterday, listening to Manchester United coach, that's Amorim, actually in his press conference, he wasn't quite certain with this particular team, according to my understanding, because at some point he was actually saying, like, outside there are players outside there that are Manchester United would wish actually to bring into the cards.
Yeah.
But at the moment when they do mention about them, they are taken elsewhere. So it becomes so hard to get the right players that they want to play. So as to my understanding is like, even this player that he has, they might not be the right player that he needed.
But Cedric, I love to come in here because look at Manchester United right now. How many competition are they involved this season?
One.
Only one.
Premier League only.
Premier League. So which type
so
of
they are
player,
resting enough.
Yeah, enough. So which type of players, quality players, will come to Manchester just to play
One
the
game.
Premier League? It is another tough situation for those players.
You're a better place to answer that.
Yes.
You see, the biggest problem is, I think the system does not, this Man United side for a very long time cannot play this system. They have round pegs in square holes. And the biggest conundrum, and I've always said, put Bruno at the top of the attacking midfield, their role, and have Kobe Mino play at the back, central midfield, so that you can have balls moving. But now, if you want to play them the way they are playing, it becomes very difficult for a game like this for Manchester to win. It's very difficult.
CEO, and I think I like putting it actually in white and black. Hate me or love me if you wish. I say that at some point, what the likes of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ten Hag were trying to experiment with this team would have worked for it. Because sometimes you first need to lock your team not to concede goals and start finding spaces to win. Regardless of how a win is a question, provided you come out with results. And you look at how Ole Gunnar, Ten Hag was doing. Ten Hag was not actually playing that beautiful soccer that any Manchester United fan would want. But he would grind some results at some point. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So come to Amorim. Amorim is trying actually to employ kind of an rig and pressing kind of soccer. Because you plant three and you push your wing back to the midfield, it's like you are reinforcing the attacking force up front. He wants the likes of Dalot to go and attack. He wants Dogu to go and attack, produce those. So as attacking becomes like 5-6 player.
Yeah.
And that has actually been materializing to the result that the fans are yearning for. And that particular moment when you go out to attack and you only have three defenders, whom, and again, according to your assessment, they are not fast to cover up those spaces, you are opening up spaces for opponents to score. And that's what we are seeing with the Brentford against Manchester United.
Actually, Cedric, I think I'll concur with what you're saying, because Amorim has his own system trying to press so hard. But now, does he have those tools to ensure that this particular system works? It doesn't. Look, even in the midfield, actually, most people consider Manchester United right now as Bruno Fernandes FC. Because without Bruno, right now, Manchester maybe would have been relegated last season. Because everything is rotating around Bruno.
You don't want to hear the word
delegation. That is the reality.
That's an Arsenal fan speak.
No. He just trying to be fair.
This is being honest.
I literally doesn't support any team come to EPL.
What are you saying, Cedric?
But
you are just sympathizer. What are you talking about?
I'm a neutral.
You cannot be neutral in EPL.
He's a La Liga person.
I'm a neutral.
Real Madrid.
I rarely doesn't support, but I like watching soccer. That is the essence. I wouldn't stop actually without following the soccer. And when they are playing like right now, I will still watch. And we open up to like scrutinizing and trying to break it down to essence. Remember, even UCO, regardless of how much you support Manchester United, you will enjoy when they play beautiful soccer, right? Or true or false?
I enjoy Manchester United playing good football, but my problem is the setup of the team. I think Amorim sometimes misjudges his team because he doesn't know what to set. Look at this coach. This coach is so young, cannot even beat Manchester United.
But he's already leading. He's leading against Manchester United.
And you know what? Rogers.
Yes.
And this actually, and I literally said in certain circle that it actually need to take Manchester United. They say, no. It will take the Manchester United or the City actually to settle their nerves and start appreciating the results as they are. Either win or loss, if they want to redefine themselves and start moving forward. But any other coach, regardless of how good you are in that particular activity, soccer that is, will come and transform Manchester United overnight.
It can't happen.
The damage is too big.
It can't happen.
They need some patience.
Not patience, they just need an overhaul. Yeah?
What overhaul?
Complete surgery need to be done at Old Trafford. Because what you are doing right now, most of it is plastic surgery. Yeah? the end term, or rather the end goal, it will just replicate what started from the surgery. So I think maybe even the system said, CEO has really spoken about the system. But unfortunately, look at the player like now, one of the most experienced player in Casemiro. Whatever he does on the pitch, sometimes you wonder, is this the most experienced player? The previous game, he helped the team to go ahead, and suddenly he conceded a very stupid second yellow card that sent him to the showers, and that
early showers.
Yeah, that meant that he won't travel to Brentford. And those are some of the things making so difficult for Amorim to know exactly which players he'll use in which particular situation. Right now, one of their best players last season, the Ivorian winger, he's not in good form, and he has missed this trip due to, maybe I had the
illness.
Illness really. He lost a close relative.
Yeah.
So he has been given some time off. Those things being combined together, it becomes so difficult. You bring in Sesko, who will give Sesko those assists or rather the balls. Becomes so difficult for them to try and just arrive and start scoring goals. And they have sent out Højlund to Syria on loan. And there, of course, he's going to thrive again.
He has started already. He has goals. He has goals.
He has got 2 goals.
They lost McTominay, who is doing wonders in Syria.
But they don't want to admit that.
They literally send Anthony on loan, and he does some miracles in
we sold him for in
La Liga. Now Rashford has come back to give Barcelona at Newcastle some result. You see, there's something that you have mentioned that I literally wanted to delve in before even you finish up your point, Rogers. And this was to do with what is this wrong that we need to understand are happening at Old Trafford, or Manchester United, that is. Listen, all other avenues have been
second goal.
Now you see?
It's a very simple goal.
This is a Brazil player, Igor, right?
You are seeing terrible things.
Yeah,
Manchester is seeing terrible things.
An average player to a Brazilian national team.
But listen, you see, that's why I said a goalkeeper, if you have a poor goalkeeping issue, the goalkeeper is someone who you cannot have that guy. This guy cannot goalkeep.
So, I think necessarily also in a team of Manchester United, experience actually commands a lot. Yeah. And a goalkeeper needs somebody who can rearrange that team.
The back four.
From behind, who actually is always on top of his voice. There's no offside there.
There's no offside. It's a very clean goal.
You can't blame the goalkeeper.
Look, yes. I told you.
No, defense. Defense.
It's all about that back three is not working for Amorim.
The defense.
The back three that Amorim is trying to deploy into this particular. I know the value and the beauty of back three is to play beautiful soccer.
Yeah.
And teams that plays back three actually entices our eyes. But this is not the case of Manchester
United. Just look, the goalkeeper parried that ball on path. But how did that striker, Thiago, go ahead to score and the defender was just close to him?
It's madness.
No, they switched off completely. They switched off. And you can't blame the goalkeeper for that. He tried his best. You see, he's just punching on the ground, frustrations all over his face. Yeah.
Look at Bruno, playing out of position all the time.
Oh,
so are we still speaking of Manchester United trying to find their last nail in their coffin, or they still have some nails?
They have some nails left.
Here, I just told him. I just told him the bees will sting powerless devils.
There's no powerless devils.
Powerless devils.
Today is when this team has to stand up.
So, and a question that I was about to ask.
Yes.
How comes Manchester United young players are not really faring on well? Haven't you asked yourself such kind of a question?
Which were the young players not faring well?
Maino was young and was actually very bright. But right now it has gone nowhere.
The problem is a coaching problem. Because I can tell you without fear of contradiction, is that Amorim does not like fielding young players. You can see. Even the way he has fielded these players, Dalot has come back into the team. He just immediately... why would you play Dalot and you are playing Maguire and you're playing Delete? And for sure the two defenders are very slow. If that's why the second goal has been scored, reaction. And I said from the beginning of this match that the biggest problem is that our defenders, the three central defenders, are traditionally slow. You'd rather have Euro.
So if they are slow, you can as well as play them, but you have some defensive midfielders who are very sharp.
You see now,
if you have a pair, a twin, you call it a pivotal defensive midfielder who can be running back to fill in those gaps of the slow defenders. This kind of messes that we are seeing here would it have been? And you see, like the midfield, right? Today midfield that they have deployed. You deploy Bruno and Ugarte the same. Ugarte is a defensive midfielder, right? Yeah. But Bruno is an offensive midfielder. Will always been travel ahead to go and find goals. So Ugarte is left like an orphan,
exposed.
Yeah.
But you see, that's what I'm saying. The easiest thing to do is just play Bruno at his 10 position or 8.
Thank you.
Then have Kobe Maino
and Ugarte
at that role.
True, I agree with you.
And then these goals, they wouldn't be conceding silly goals.
Yes, on that I agree with you.
Actually,
and also it will give the likes of Maguire free role now.
Yeah, to play.
To play.
Actually, I just wanted to speak about Henderson. They're making Henderson look like a prime Iniesta. Prime Iniesta. You know, he's just ruling that midfield like nothing else.
He's walking through. And
even Damsgaard.
Yeah.
That is the player that I told you to watch. Damsgaard is a player I told you to watch. If you are not careful, if Manchester United is going to whip their tears, this is the player that will be nailing the last nail.
But you know,
into Manchester United's coffin.
If you go back, flashback,
look at
their last match against Chelsea, they were lucky to get that win. And you know, for Brentford, they were really beaten by Fulham. Mm-hmm. So Brentford came here more wounded than Manchester.
True.
And they have to prove a point. And you know, getting those 2 early goals before the 20th minute, you read a statement, and Manchester, they have a mountain to climb. And who will score those goals for Manchester? We don't know, because you can't really bank on maybe Sesko, who has been isolated. He doesn't get that supply of goals.
So,
and there's now mentioning about Sesko. They also, and that's my own observation, playing Sesko as a lone striker, but you're playing with a twin offensive midfielder who, and again, their appetite to get goals is very high.
Yeah,
you are denying Sesko chance to score.
Because
any given time they get their ball, they don't supply to Sesko. They will be trying to get goals.
Yeah, exactly.
But you see, the biggest problem we have, gentlemen, is that when I look at this team, is first of all, you have to understand is the setup of the team. The players are, if Manchester wants to turn the game around, Bruno has to play further up. Mm-hmm. Because he's the one who can give them a pass.
Yes, he supplies and they're accurate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he's the only one who can supply to Cesko. Yes. If you don't have Bruno there, then Cesko will not score.
Absolutely.
He will not even be in this game.
I will agree with you 100%
Number 2,
on that.
If you do not allow Bruno to play in front, then the midfield will be very weak because he can't defend.
True.
He cannot defend, and he cannot outman his people.
Shit.
He can't. So then the another problem we have is that Dogu is a very good player in the defense, but his last ball is very poor going forward.
Also very indecisive.
Yeah. So going forward, Dogu does not give you any chance, offer you anything. But defensively, he'll give you stability.
And the same thing, I think, Dalot also is not good in defensive.
But he'll give you something offensive.
Yes. We always like traveling up front looking.
You see now, that's Bruno going forward.
And that's Dogu.
You see now, that's Dogu.
They have been denied. Finally.
Cesko has scored.
Benjamin, the first goal, eh?
Yeah.
But is it a goal or not allowed?
It is. It is a goal.
I
know, that's when it's to go for a review.
Let's wait and see what the referee did. But it's a goal. It's a clean goal.
Yeah,
it was a goal mouth melee.
There was no impediment there.
Yeah.
You see, that's Bruno going forward. You see? That's Bruno now.
No offside there.
No
Unless
offside.
it is outside. No, outside.
It might have curved from...
Oh, maybe pushing the goalkeeper from Mbeumo. Maybe push.
That's now what we call working hard
slight
for
push.
goals. Eh?
No push.
No push.
No push.
That's a goal.
No push. That's a clean goal for Manchester United. No push. I think the goalkeeper also, Keleha, just brought back his Liverpool demons.
Demons, yeah.
Because that ball, he should have saved it long time ago, but whatever he did.
They're still checking.
They have to check for possible
Mbeumo, the goalkeeper. No, but that should stand. That should stand.
No one was close to that goalkeeper.
No, that first instance, yes, Mbeumo came close to the goalkeeper, but it wasn't a heavy push. Yeah. It wasn't a heavy push.
No, I think it is. So, listeners out there, Manchester just scored a goal, but it's under review. I think, does it stand? It stands, I think.
It will stand.
Yeah, it stands. But this coach, oh my goodness. Hakuna coach hapa.
But finally, I'm happy for Sesko. He has proven his worth.
He's broken his duck.
He's a good player. If you supply him with balls, and he has actually shown us the pedigree of a striker. He has the striking instinct.
Sure.
So you just need to be giving him balls in his prime space. He will give you results. This is a kind of a player that we have followed, and we know what the value he has. What they are doing is denying him those chances or those balls that can really give him chances to score.
Sure.
You see, the biggest problem we have with this team is the setup. Look at that setup. Now, Sesko is alone in front.
Being isolated completely.
You see, even if you look at how he has scored that ball, we can't say that necessarily he was given a pass.
Yeah.
He latched on a rebound.
Yeah.
And the first time, the likes of Mbeumo, who were in the prime space, instead of giving that ball to him, they were aiming at scoring also. You look at the Matthias Cunha, he also looking on how to get goals. So those two players that are playing behind Sesko are really doing him a disservice. As you said, they need a player like Bruno Fernandes, who unnecessarily, he will only score when it is demands. But his role is to supply balls to up front.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, I think we take a short break. When we come back, at halftime, we look at this match, where areas, the mistakes, where it's being won, where it's the two teams will have to reinforce as go into second half. Otherwise, it is a pleasure. Roji, so what's your take? It's 2-1 now.
No, it's still game on. That's Sesko pulling back one goal for Manchester. I think it's anybody's game. But you understand, of course, Manchester defensive frailties are always there to be exposed. And who knows, maybe before the breather, it could be, it might be 3-1. So it's still game on. So we are still here with our eyes wide open to see who will cry.
Zedo.
Yeah.
I still feel like Manchester United is so vulnerable at the back. And if Akolde can allow goals from Thiago, Damsgaard has not actually traveled to that space that he enjoys most. We haven't seen the likes of Dango Quattara trading in that particular space that he used to score goals from. So as those players, if they move into those prime spaces, Manchester United is bound to soak in goals if they are not careful.
I tell you, I'm with us, sympathizers. But anyway, my friend Robinson Okenya has just walked in. Robbie, karibu your mic tuambie what do you think. These gentlemen are telling me a lot of
mimi tuongee full time.
So that's a real Manchester United fan. You see, he knows exactly what can transpire at the end of the 90 minutes.
What do you mean? There is a second goal.
From where?
So, gentlemen, let's have a short breather. When we come back, we analyze for you.